Anyways, okay, so yeah, like I coached and then we did the show on Saturday or whatever, and the kids wanted to do something, so I talked to Tink and I'm like, hey, what do you want to do? And she mentioned wanting to crab or whatever. So I'm like, I'll go in there to Elaine and all that. And, or first I talked to D. I was like, hey, bro, you want to go to, the Gulf and do some fishing and bullshit. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, let's go have some fun. And we were talking about doing some evening fishing and night fishing and shit. Well, I go in there and I talk to Elaine and I'm like, hey, this is what the kids want to do. Like, why don't y'all get ready and let's, head on down. She's like, Cyrus had her kid, she's like, he's got a birthday party to go to tomorrow and he's going to be tired and he'll be pissy and all that stuff. So we're not going to go. Y'all just go. Okay, cool. Whatever. I'm going to do something with my kids. I don't get them, every weekend. So I'm going to go do something. So then we get fucking, 10 minutes down the goddamn road and I get a text. It says, my feelings are hurt. You didn't want to hang out and do something as a family. Y'all have fun, catch 12 big fish. So I text and she put a little fucking, that little sad emoji fucking thing in there. And I just text her back, what the fuck? WTF. And she says, what WTF, my feelings? Question mark. I said nothing. And she said, all right then. And then she sends me the little crying fucking sad face or whatever. I said, so now you try to make me feel bad for doing something with my crotch goblins. I've referred to them as crotch goblins. Yeah. So now you're trying to make me feel bad about doing something with my crotch goblins. And I don't get to see every day. Just what the fuck? She says, no, I didn't say that. Not even close. So there's no reason to take it that way and read it that way. I said, K. And then, she says, I wasn't trying to make you feel bad. I was just saying my feelings. I'll just shut up. And then she put like the gritting teeth emoji. Like, how would you take that? What's your opinion?
Well, I mean, I get where you're coming from with, not being with your kids, obviously, because we're in the same boat. I only see my kids every other weekend, but, unfortunately, I have to drive 4 hours one way to see my kids. But
like, and am I an asshole because I didn't feel bad that she was fucking upset about it? Like, I'm like, fuck no, these are my kids. I'm going to give them a good time. I'm going to, I want them to be happy. And, I offered for them to come and her and
I don't think you not feeling bad is an issue. I mean, I'm not saying there is an issue. I'm saying you not feeling bad is not an issue. I think the overall issue is just passive aggressive communication. Because obviously, when you brought up like, hey, we want to do this, and you invite, it's not like you say, hey, y'all go do this, we're going to do this to exclude or anything. You obviously offered something to do as a family. And I think the reason why I have, an easier time talking to my wife is because she's a mental health professional. So she just talks things out. But I think, that's just dealing with that typical, type of, women's, not saying exactly what they feel and just you expecting to know what they're feeling. Right.
Yeah.
And so, and of course, no matter how long you've been with a specific person or no matter how much time you spent dealing with women as a whole, us guys aren't going to give a shit to care to get to that point.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm like, I was trying to figure out, like, am I a fucking asshole for still going? Like, and then I'm like,
well, you were already gone. So it's kind of, it's like, the thing is though, it's like, had this been communicated and talked to before you left, and you kind of gave that whole, what a, you had like a conversation and it kind of got a little heated and then you left, I would say, okay, and you know, feeling, the conversation was had, she expressed and truly communicated what was bothering her to you, and you just feel like, essentially, and not so many words, not saying you would do this, but like essentially not so many words, like, I don't care, fuck off, we're leaving. Then I'd be like, okay, yeah, you're kind of an asshole. But if everything was that happened beforehand, and you're like, okay, cool, and then you leave, and then that stuff comes after with kind of, in those passive aggressive manners, it's kind of like, I mean, you're already gone. I wouldn't turn around.
I was literally 5 minutes down the road.
But you already have the kids in that mindset of like, oh yes, we're going fishing. And you want to tell them, oh, sorry, we're not going anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that to my kids. I'm already gone.
Yeah. It was a situation where I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, and if I were to spin shit around, I'd be like, no, go ahead, do what you got to do. And we can't do it for this reason, but y'all have fun. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the kids like to do, and that's what they wanted to do. And granted, the fishing was fucking horrible that night, but hell, we still had fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were still out there, and the waves got really bad. They got real windy. A storm blew in on us, but you
spent time.
Kids were excited to go.
Spent time and that with the kids, and that's what matters. Because like, I'll tell you what, of all the times that I go down to San Antonio to, and anyone who's listening or watching, like, I live in Fort Worth and my kids live in San Antonio. I only live up here for two reasons. One, this is where my job is. Two, this is where I met my wife when she was working up here. So I live up here, of course. But, I drive down there every other weekend, because that's what I have to do to be with my kids, period. It's exhausting. Yes. But, I don't complain, bitch, moan, wherever. Like, that is what I have to do to be with my children. And of all the times I go down there, of course, I'm only spending that minute amount of time. So of course I'm taking them to go do stuff. Like, obviously, first thing out of Grace's mouth, like, I wonder what our surprise is going to be, because she's spoiled into thinking that I'm going to take them to do something. Rightfully so, because I always take them to go do stuff because that's the only time I'm with them. Right. I can't go there and be like, we're doing nothing but sitting in the fucking hotel all weekend long. I can't do that.
And that's why I hate whenever dads are called Disneyland dads. Like, we only have them for select, periods of time, that we try to capitalize on the amount of events and things that we do. It's like we pay, thousands in child support every month, plus, thousands in health insurance and all that. And we still have our own bills and still find time to add other financial means in there to do these fun things with the kids. It's nothing for me to be on a weekend and take the kids to a Comic-Con or take them to a football game or whatever and drop $3,000 to $5,000 in a day. You know what I mean? That's nothing, but it's building these experiences and these memories with the kids. One thing, and I know I'm not her kid's father and we're just dating, but it's a situation of, there are times that I do want to be out there and just spend one-on-one time with my kids, only my kids, have my kids right there with me. And sometimes I feel like an asshole for that. And I don't mean to exclude them, but there's sometimes that I need that connection time. No different than I may throw one kid in the truck one day just to go to Target. You know what I mean? And we may go down to Target and walk around and, to essentially get some shit that we need, but let them look for a fucking hour or whatever and really hang out and all that.
No, we do the same thing. Like when I can, obviously when it's just me down there with the kids, I can't like leave Grace or Elijah alone at the hotel, right? Like, but but like whenever if Destiny is able to come with me, or if they're up here, like there'll be plenty of times where it'd be just me and Elijah go do something real quick. Like I go take him to get a haircut, and it's just me and him like hanging out for a bit. We'll go do something with Grace. But of all the times that I've gone down there to do stuff with them, right, or spend time with them, I would say that the most like the best time that I felt of like bonding and being
Hmm.
with like the kids, especially Elijah, was something that was so simple, not like, extravagant, taking them to fucking SeaWorld or Comic Con or anything like that. And it was just recent, by the way. Like it was just literally 2 months ago. It was when I went down there and I took him to the batting cages and we were just working on his baseball.
Yeah.
That was it. And but I was also helping Grace too, because she's in softball. But like that was honestly probably one of the better times of us just spending time together,
Hmm.
working together on his baseball. Just me and him and her and me and her just working together. And I'm sitting there, I'm filming him, I'm tweaking him. I'm like, all right, cool. You need to get a little bit lower. Keep your elbow up. Hey, you're just like center up. Like, and we're just spending that time as I'm like feeling like a dad to a son, helping him with his
Hmm.
with his with his technique, and like, and it was infinitely more meaningful than anything I've ever done with him. Like, of all the fucking tens of thousands of dollars I probably spent, I wish I just only spent $20 to go to the batting cages.
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel you. I fucking feel you. Like it is crazy how a lot of the simplest things can mean so much. And it goes in that fucking memory bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that's why, whenever I can do the Texans shit for them and sit real close and it's cool for them. I took them to their first NFL game. I took them to their first, did I take them to MLB game? I can't remember if I took them there or not. Cause we always get, front row at the MLB games and shit like that and all that. But yeah, man, even if it's cheap, it means so fucking much, but it's a lot of that one-on-one time. And
yeah.
I know DJ struggles with the divorce. You know what I mean? Cecilia did, but I don't think she does as much. Um,
Grace really, really did, and somewhat till this day still kind of does, but like she really did.
yeah. Well, and that's why I said, like, actually essentially did me a solid. Like, they didn't care how long, mine didn't care how long I was with Elaine, whether it was a fucking day or fucking 20 years. Like, they still had this feeling in the back of their heart that me and their mom was getting back together. Like,
Yeah,
and when Ashley was with, that dude for, 5 months or whatever, and then they got married, like, it was like the kids saw, like, okay, well, mom and dad aren't getting back together.
yeah,
So, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't the fact that, me and Elaine had been seeing each other for, a year or whatever. It was the fact that mom was married to a different dude now.
yeah.
So,
It's
which that's
different
a
when
struggle. It is.
it's marriage versus just dating.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And because they ask me all the time, like, well, they've asked me a handful of times of, you think you're going to get married again or whatever? Like, when are y'all getting? I'm like, I'm not a great husband. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but